Welcome to my video channel again, and a big shout out to my daughter Becky Booker, who played my introductory music with one of my favorite songs. Thank you very much, Becky. I have a question for you today. Have you ever thrown the baby out with the bathwater? I wonder if that's ever literally happened. Another way of expressing the same truth is to throw the champagne out with the cork. What the metaphor means, of course, is to warn you that when you discard or renounce something false or evil, you don't renounce the good along with it. When we lived in Austria in the early 1980s, I noticed that although the majority of Austrians were of the Roman Catholic faith, very few actually attended the church. And when I asked why, I would get all kinds of stories of how this person was abused by a priest, or how that person couldn't pay his church taxes and was prosecuted. Some would go back as far as the chaos and confusion of the Second World War as a reason why they quit the church. And so the next question was, did you throw out the baby with the bathwater? You lost confidence in the church, but did you lose your faith in God? It was interesting to me that most of them affirmed that they still believed in God. And that was the starting point for a lot of interesting conversations. No matter what church you are familiar with, you'd have to be blind not to see that the North American church is being severely challenged and damaged. Leaders of significant movements have fallen into immorality. Some have even left the faith. Large segments of the church have been affected by abuse scandals. In Canada here, we are still dealing with the fallout of the residential schools. It's no wonder that so many churches are sparsely attended, or maybe even empty. Maybe you've been traumatized or offended by some church leader, and since that event, you limit your church attendance to special occasions like Christmas or Easter. My concern is the Christian church and her credibility. This past week, as that mob stormed the Capitol building in Washington, I saw a Jesus banner in the middle of it. And I really winced when I saw that. I thought to myself that the church is going to take another hit over this one. It's always been the case that the ones who speak the loudest are generally the ones that the world perceives as those who speak for Christianity. But there are so many really solid Christians out there. And if you're listening to this, you're nodding your head vigorously because you have no use for the church, let me ask you this question. Have you thrown the baby out with the bathwater? Do you still believe in God? If he exists, you can't ignore him. There are serious consequences for ignoring him. So here's something to think about. Have you ever come across anyone whom you know to be a Christian and whose reputation you would defend because of their spirit, because of their compassion, because of their love for neighbor, because of their generosity? Do you know anyone of whom you would say, now that's a Christian? If that's the case, then maybe there is something genuine about Christianity. Maybe there is a reason to believe. Just because there are charlatans out there doesn't mean that the genuine doesn't exist. The genuine ones will not jump up and down and shout hallelujah in front of cameras. There are Christians in China who have counted the cost and are in prison for their faith. In India, where there are anti-conversion laws, Christians continue to quietly share their faith with others, knowing the price they will pay if word gets out. In Cuba, I personally know of believers who have lost their high-ranking jobs because they were baptized in order to follow Christ. In Cuba, you have to renounce your Communist Party membership if you become a Christian. Genuine Christians will not have pictures taken of them holding a huge check so that everyone can see how generous they are. The genuine Christians may be at home, loving and caring for their neighbors. They may be washing someone's feet, but not for the cameras, nor for the love of money. The genuines may be in a third world country helping people who have little hope to establish their own businesses in order to get on their feet and off the poverty scale. The genuine Christians may sacrifice a lucrative career here at home in order to fight Ebola in an unknown corner of the world. The genuine Christians are quietly making sacrifices that you will never know about. The genuine Christians will not force you to listen to them, but will wait for the right time to share their way of thinking and their life with you. And it's because of those genuine ones that truly do exist. I love the church. When I was a young kid, I was troubled by all of the denominations that I saw, the different brands of Christianity. So many different denominations, I said to my dad. I asked him about it, and he handled it very wisely. He pointed to an apartment building being erected, still under major construction, and he said to me, Werner, what do you see? I said, well, I see scaffolding, I see plastic hanging down, I see mud all around the building, and I see spilled concrete in the mud. I see a lot of ugly. He said, well, all of that is necessary while it's being built. But one day the scaffolding will come down, the plastic will be gone. Instead of mud, there will be lawn and paved road. It will be a very nice looking building. Werner, the church is still being built. It's messy right now because it's still under construction. But one day it will be a thing of beauty. That's why the church is called the Bride of Christ. I've never forgotten that story. So this is my pitch to you, is to not discount Christianity because of the phony ones who are always in the spotlight. Please give it some thought. And if you have any questions or comments, no flames, please. You can always private message me and I will see if I can answer you. Thank you for listening.